is the better choice.
What would another ShopRite mean for you?
It means more chef-prepared meals to take home and call my own.
Another place to get help with healthy eating.
And another place to get fresh fish.
Another ShopRite in the Capital District, 709 Central Avenue. Another ShopRite. That means more chef-prepared meals, another dietitian, and more fresh produce. Get more choices and even more savings with ShopRite's growing family.
We're all about food. We're all about savings. We're all about you.
It's 3 lengths behind. Escaper's coming on. Unbridled Command is coming there. On the far outside, King Creases down toward the rail. And then farther back in the field, it's set the sail. They're coming into the final furlong. Unbridled Command has the lead. Here comes Escaper to the attack. And down inside, trying to come back, is Sky Ring. Coming down to the finish. Unbridled Command did it! Ramone Dominguez has just won 6 races today. And Skyring ran a fairly remarkable second, close for third, as Lucky Chappie came on for a photo.
And welcome back to Capital OTV's The Inside Track. We are joined now by the meet's leading rider, the unsurpassed and unsurpassable Ramone Dominguez. Good morning and welcome.
Good morning.
Welcome.
How are you doing? Thank you.
And we just watched yesterday's stakes feature, and that was a ride that I thought was absolutely tremendous on Unbridled Command. A long shot, 10-1, and you made a kind of a bold move up between horses. Tell us a little bit about the ride on that horse.
Sure. I was happy with the setup. Of course, the leader went up and up, and it seems like I was in a great spot. And as you say, I'm coming into the 3-8 pole, which I thought was a little early, but I basically felt I had no choice at that point. I had to squeeze between 2 horses, and very happy with the response my horse gave me at that point. He just really took off and was game enough to stay for the win.
Now, aside from being just another stakes win for you, it was notable for 2 other reasons. It was your 6th win of the day, which is the 2nd time you've done that this meet. No, that's only happened once ever here at Saratoga. And it was your 66th win of the meet, which sets an all-time Saratoga record. They've been running races here a long time. You are now the all-time record holder for wins in a season. What does that mark mean to you?
Oh, it means so much, and really, yes, it was an unbelievable day. One of those days, really, I went home and I felt like I had to pinch myself. It was just incredible. Going into the day, I knew that there was 2 days left in the meet, and I knew I was 5 wins from tying the record. And of course, thinking about it, I said, well, I mean, if I split in between the 2 days, it will be 3 and 3, and it's pretty difficult to do, to win 6 races in 2 days here. And after winning 1 and 2, and after I won the 4th one, I believe, I was like, wow, I mean, I'm only a couple from breaking the record, and to accomplish it all in 1 day, it really was unbelievable. Very, very fortunate.
Well, that's interesting you say that, because a lot of athletes say, oh, I don't pay much attention to the records, you know, I'm just taking it 1 race at a time or 1 game at a time, but you actually knew how many you needed to get that record. It did mean something to you.
Yes, and quite honestly, I didn't know about it, I mean, for a while, since I guess I was getting closer to achieving 60 wins. But I wasn't really thinking about it a whole lot. I just, as you mentioned, my regular approach, you know, taking it race by race, but coming into yesterday's day, I definitely could not help to think about it, and I knew that there was a chance, and I felt it was really a slim chance, but there was, and just an incredible day, really.
And earlier, a week earlier, you had been involved in the dead heat in the Traverse, which was also an exciting moment. And tell us a little bit about Alpha and your ride on Alpha, and how he is, what kind of a 3-year-old he is for you.
Well, I'm very excited about him. He never did anything wrong prior to this comeback before the Gym Dandy, but I do feel like with a little bit of time that he had, he grew not only physically but mentally. He's just that much more professional. I love the way he handles himself, and just excited to be on a horse like him. And it was such an exciting race for me because coming into 8th pole, I really was a little skeptical about really being able to at least hit, and I didn't think that we were going to have a big chance at that point. I mean, the winner, the co-winner was a couple lengths in front, and Alpha in the last few yards just kicked it into another gear, and it didn't really get any more exciting than that.
You mentioned setting the record. We just saw the video of you in the winner's circle when they put up that you had won the 66 races. What does it mean to accomplish that here? And, you know, we're obviously biased towards Saratoga, but accomplishing it here where people really appreciate that and what an accomplishment it is and, you know, what it means.
It's something that really you have to stop to think about it. At least I do. As you mentioned before, the history behind Saratoga, how long races have been running here, and all the great moments that have really taken place here, and to think that you're part of it, it's really amazing. Saratoga is a beautiful place, and of course it does help when you're doing well. It always seems like it's even nicer, but not really. I can't think of many places here in America as far as racing goes where you get the fans are so into racing, and it's a totally different atmosphere. It's not really gambling oriented. You get all different kind of crowds, from families to people with a lot of money, people with little money. And the bottom line is that everybody seems to enjoy and have a great time. It's really a beautiful place.
You talked about being here at Saratoga. When you're in the zone like that, you're winning 4 races in a row, you're winning 6 races in a day. It's such a competitive jockey colony. Do the other guys kid you at all? Like, come on, Ramone, give us a chance here, you know?
No, we have a great relationship, and I get along with everybody, and I could feel how a lot of them were very happy with my day yesterday. Especially Johnny Velasquez. I think that he was just as excited as I was. He was counting. He said, "Ramone, you're only 2 away," and so that's neat to see that we can be competing against each other, but at the same time have a lot of respect for what we do and recognize each other's success or accomplishments. So that's really the way it should be.
You're one of the few guys up here who rides in New York year-round. You ride at Belmont, you ride at Aqueduct in the dead of winter. Are there days when you're down at Aqueduct, when it's 10 degrees out, you're thinking, you know, maybe I should go down to Gulfstream and ride in 80-degree weather down there?
No complaints. I feel like enduring the cold winter is a small sacrifice, and the other side of it is that I'm able to keep my family. My kids are going to school now in Long Island, and the money's great, so I have no complaints. I mean, it's a short day as far as racing is finished around 4 o'clock, so I can go home and enjoy the family. And if I have a big commitment or a good horse to ride, I can always fly down to Florida. So I feel fortunate to be in the position to stay in the winter, as crazy as it might sound.
Yeah, it's worth it, I guess, if that's where your family is, and I know that you moved from the Mid-Atlantic up to the New York circuit, you know, hesitantly because of your family commitments. I think a lot of people that follow racing here, especially people in Saratoga, you know, people know John Velasquez and have had the chance to, you know, see him with his family, his little children and his wife and everything else. I think they appreciate that same attitude in you, that you are somebody who's got that commitment to your family and so forth, and, you know, not just going down to Florida and disrupting their family. I think people like that, appreciate that in you.
I feel very fortunate to be able to stay in New York. Because it's an option that I have, and it's great to be able to do that. As I say, the money's great. I mean, business-wise, it's not really a huge sacrifice, and the fact that we can keep the family all in one place is a big deal for me.
Ramone, we really appreciate taking the time. We're out of time here. We saved the best for last. Saratoga riding champion, our last guest of the season. We appreciate you taking the time, and congratulations on setting the record.
Thank you very much, guys.
Yes, congratulations, and thank you so much for joining us this morning. We know you've had obviously a very busy meet, and mornings as well as afternoons, and best of luck continuing as you'll be riding, I believe, 11 today?
I think
Every
10.
race?
One of them might be
10?
main track only, yeah.
Okay, so you got a ride in almost every race today, so you could make
Put that record out of reach.
Put that record out of reach for somebody else, and we certainly wish you the best of luck as
Thank
well
you.
heading down to Belmont in the fall. That'll wrap up this edition, the final edition of Capital OTB's The Inside Track from here at Saratoga. Thank you to all the special guests that we've had here over the course of this very busy summer, and of course, my co-host Robert Lee, who has done a terrific job up here as well every day at the racetrack. Thanks for joining us on The Inside Track. Coming up next, it's Handicappers Report.
You're watching OTB TV, a service of Capital Off-Track Betting.